Hi folks, welcome to this video on strength. This is one of 4 on strength. In this video we're looking at types and factors affecting strength. So I just thought I'd come up with the 4 main types of strength the exam board want you to know about and a little definition of each one. And we're going to play a little bit of match up, make it interactive, check me out. What we've got here is we have got static and dynamic strength, maximum strength, explosive strength, and endurance-based strength. And what we've got here are some definitions. So what we've got is the ability to produce maximum force in a single contraction, force applied with any movement occurring, i.e. an isometric contraction, the ability to sustain repeated muscular contractions over a period of time, withstanding fatigue, the ability to produce maximal force in a short period of time over one or several, that should say contractions, let's correct it. And finally, force applied with movement at the joint occurring / muscle changes length, eccentric and concentric contractions. So let's go with this one first, static and dynamic. Static, obviously strength where we are remaining still. So what we're looking for is that there. Force applied without any movement occurring, an isometric contraction. Classic examples there is a sprinter holding the start position. You don't wobble on the starting block, so you'll trigger a false start. So that's one there. The crucifix in gymnastics, where the male gymnasts have got to hold a fixed position. So obviously then, dynamic strength must be strength whilst moving. So what we're looking for there are the different ways that we can move, and the ways that we can move and shorten or make joints move is that way over there. Force applied with movement at the joint occurring, or muscle changes length, and it's either a concentric or an eccentric contraction. The next one we'll look at is maximum strength, and as you'd expect, no trick question, it's got that word in it, maximum. So maximum strength is the ability to produce maximal force in a single contraction. Okay? Now, strength endurance is also known as muscular endurance. So obviously, anytime there's an endurance element in there, it's about working over a period of time. So the ability to sustain repeated muscular contractions over a period of time withstanding fatigue. Common in most sports, you've got to produce the same movements, the same actions. How many times does a footballer kick in a game? How many times does a rugby player tackle in a game? How many times does a rower pull on the oar? How many times does a boxer throw a punch? You've got to repeat contractions over and over again. So that ultimately leads explosive strength with that, the ability to produce maximal force over a short period of time. That's the key thing. What is explosive strength? Its more common name is power. Speed times strength. So I'm producing maximal force. There's the strength over a short period of time. There's the speed, and that ultimately leads to explosive strength or power. And so finally then, for this video, they're the different types of strength, but what are the factors that affect our strength? So I just thought I'd list these down. There's no mix and match here. But there's a lot of repetition, as you'd expect. But these are the marks in the textbook, in the specifications, so these things are going to get you marks. The cross-sectional area of the muscle, how big the cross-sectional area is. So the greater the cross-sectional area of the muscle, the greater the force produced. That makes common sense, doesn't it? The bigger the cross-sectional area, obviously the more muscle there is, therefore the more force produced. Going back to our muscle fiber types, you have got 3. Well, you've got 2, fast twitch and slow twitch, but within fast twitch, you've got 2 others, fast glycolytic and fast oxidative glycolytic. The reality is, fast twitch are twice the thickness of slow twitch, therefore they produce more force, therefore they produce greater strength. So the more FG and FOG, fast glycolytic and fast oxidative glycolytic fibers you have, the greater the strength that you're going to produce. Thirdly, generally as a rule, males have higher strength levels than females, mainly because males are generally larger than females, therefore larger muscle mass. But the big one is testosterone level. Testosterone is the hormone that boosts muscle mass. Males have more testosterone than females. You females certainly do have some testosterone, but it's not as much as males generally, and therefore males have a higher strength level than females. And finally, age. Your strength development will peak around about 20 to 30 years of age. Thereafter, generally it will decrease with age. However, the more you train, the more you stay in shape, the more you will offset that decline. But as a rule, you'll start to lose strength from the age of 30 onwards. So that was the types of strength and the factors affecting strength. Very brief video, but there's 3 others to watch. This is probably the best one to watch first, and then you can move on to your other ways of assessing and evaluating and adaptations to strength. Hope you found this video useful, folks.